Hello, it's Phillip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and it's my delight to introduce you to a book we've reviewed before. It's Tolley's VAT Cases, this time for 2012. It's this book here, which we'll look at in a minute. Tolley's have produced regularly a comprehensive digest of reported value-added tax decisions relevant to current legislation, running from 1973, the day it came in, to the 1st of January 2012, and this is the work we have so far, brand new edition. It's edited by Alan Dolton and David Rudling, and we've given it a title. It's from the LexisNexis Butterworth group, the Tolley stable. Attention tax practitioners, embroiled with VAT. This is the latest edition of Tolley's VAT Cases, and they make interesting reading because they're actually quite fun. You think it'd be incredibly boring, but it isn't. Some of the work, the case is absolutely wonderful. You wouldn't believe the defences that come up. That's the book anyway. It's a heavy book. On the back is some comments about it and various bits and pieces concerning what's in it. It's a heavy book. The pages are a bit flimsy, nearly 2,000 pages long. You can see the index there, and you can get a feel for the book just by, I'm just opening it anywhere, you can see the paragraph numbering at the side, so that means you can find the works quite, the actual cases and the individual topics quite quickly. Obviously, for instance, a classic one is the reasonable excuse, which is looking at default surcharges. That's a great one because you have got with this work, which you do get with some aspects of this law, the human interest bit, because they come up with very inventive ways of trying to get around the basic decisions made by the tax people. That's the table of cases, which you can see there, a very substantial number, very useful contents right at the beginning, and I do advise all people to read about this book, which is the front bit, which explains how to use the book. It's a heavy book. Take care with the pages because they are a bit flimsy in places, but it's a lovely book and I like reviewing it. Now, my wife and I have written a review, and this is now the 27th annual edition of this work, and you may have noticed the later volume covers relevant cases. This is the sister volume to go with this from Tolley's basic tax cases. That covers a period from 1875 to 2012. This one only covers in a short period of time cases from 1973 when VAT came in. And obviously VAT is a controversial area to many people, but the cases contained here in this indispensable work of reference include public court and tribunal decisions, which, as pointed out by the publishers, show the impact of this tax on the increasing range of businesses and private circumstances. And bearing in mind the often mind-blowing complexity of VAT, the book will, in our view, be a boon to all practitioners. VAT Intelligence has commented that practitioners will find this book far easier to use than the official index to the VAT tribunal decisions. I've no dispute with that at all. I mean, one of the difficulties in these technical tax areas is that it just gets more and more complicated, and you do need to have clarity and simplicity. That is really what Tolley's are offering, and I commend you to look at it, and I welcome this book in particular. So, as with its sister book, Tolley's tax cases, the VAT cases, obviously you can use in a particular number of ways. First, there's the alphabetized contents list at the front, then there's the table of statutes, and thirdly the general subject index at the back. As I say, it's expanding all the time, and I suppose eventually we're going to get into 2 volumes, but at the moment there obviously are a very large number of reported cases. Do read our review on the web. You'll find it very interesting to see what we think of the various cases that come up. One thing that is important here, there are 200 pages of abbreviations and references in the work, which plus the cases and statutory instruments, etc. And there's also a short glossary on Latin and French phrases, which I think is also very important. There's new material on the most recent decisions, and as I say, accountancy and the Times have also made comments about the book itself. So in other words, saying no praise can be high enough for this work, because that's exactly how we feel too. So let me conclude by saying that certainly this volume will be ideal not only for tax practitioners but lawyers, accountants and any people advising business folk in general. That includes administrators, company secretaries and so forth. So we welcome it and we thank LexisNexis, Tolley and all the people involved in another very high quality work which is of great assistance to us, and I want to thank you very much for producing it, because it makes our task a lot easier. Thanks very much. Bye bye.